Now that we got that fucking disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about drugs, shall we? My personal thoughts on drugs are, I love them. I fucking love. I am a hardcore drug user. No longer an abuser because I can go a long time without doing any of them. But when I actually do drugs, I completely go ape shit when I use them. I honestly have no idea where this topic might take us. It could take us. It can make me sound political. It can make me sound like a fucking idiot because I do drugs. And hey, think what you want to think. At the end of the day, I'm still gonna do drugs, so you're not gonna change me either way. But one thing that I really hate, that I really it really rots my liver more than tequila, is when people say, or mainly when old people, because nowadays it's old people or ignorant people that don't want to see facts. For example, I really hate when people say that weed. Let's start with weed because it's the most common one. It's the most. It's got the most leeway. I hate when people say weed is a gateway drug. I have not once in my life, and I smoke. I don't know how many times I have smoked. Not once in my life, when I hit a blunt, a bong, a joint, whatever, I have never thought, I want some meth, some crack, some heroin. No, what the fuck? And actually, I think the only one that knows is George and a few of my other friends from back home. I didn't start off with weed. I started off with her white cousin. I didn't start off with weed. I actually started off with a white cousin. Then I went on to weed. Then I went on to other shit. Pills, acid, shrooms. Only shit I haven't done is meth, crack, heroin. I'm not gonna count steroids because they don't get you fucked up. They just get you real buff. But I haven't done that either. If you're gonna do drugs, well, it depends on the drug. I'm gonna give you some advice. If you're gonna do weed, make sure you have any drink, whether it's water, Gatorade, Kool-Aid, soda. If you want to get even more fucked up, any kind of liquor. You will get cottonmouth like a motherfucker. If you're a newbie, and I really hope none of you are, cottonmouth is when your mouth gets dry as a fucking Sonora desert. You will actually be able to tell the difference between actual water and your dried up saliva. You can go like that, and your tongue will get stuck to the fucking roof of your tongue. It's a shitty fucking sensation. I hate every time it happens. Now on to cocaine, perico, yayo, whatever the fuck you want to call it. My number one tip, don't do it loud on your first time. Do not do, because you will nosebleed. I know from experience. I did way too much than I was supposed to. I couldn't feel my nose. And because I couldn't feel my nose, I couldn't feel the blood coming out until I actually tasted it. Worst part is I tasted it when I was eating a burger. So I actually thought the burger was raw. And there was no one eating with me, so nobody said, hey, your fucking nose is bleeding. So when I went to go to the sink to spit up the bite I took, I walked by a mirror and I looked at it like I did like a double take because I was like, what the fuck? And yeah, I was bleeding. Thankfully, it wasn't in my house, so that's why there was no one eating with me. It was at a homeboy's house back home. But that was the scariest shit that ever happened to me doing drugs, to be honest. I mean, other than the whole Dread 3D, that was intense, but it wasn't scary. It was actually pretty fun. That's a good segue onto acid or LSD or whatever, any kind of psychedelics. Don't think just because psychedelics they do affect you. I don't really know the whole science behind them, so I'm not gonna say if it does or doesn't affect you physically, because I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm in Neverland, which is awesome. But from what I've been told, don't do more than like half of a gram or half. I don't, like I said, I don't know the doses. I just take like a small, pop it and trip balls. But what I've been told is don't have any bad shit in your mind. Like clear your mind of everything. Um, have everything handy that you think you're gonna need. Like if you think you're gonna want chips, get a bag of chips. If you think you're gonna want to watch a movie, watch a fucking movie or have a bunch of movies handy. But I just do it so I can trip balls while I'm dreaming. Cause that's any psychedelics that I have taken actually help me remember my dreams. Cause I know I've had countless times where somebody asked me, "What the hell did you dream of?" And that somebody's always my mom because she always wants to know what the fuck I'm dreaming about. I don't know why. She always asks me what you're dreaming, and I never fucking remember. And one time, I actually did shrooms. I did a little bit before I went to sleep. Well, I didn't plan on going to sleep. I was just tired. Like it just, I just got tired. So I fell asleep, still high on shrooms. And I remember every specific detail about that dream, which is so vividly. Like I thought it actually happened in real life. But then when I thought about it, I saw a dragon taking a shit. So that couldn't be real. So that's when I knew that shrooms were affecting me while I was sleeping. I don't even know if it's supposed to happen or if it's just a flaw in my fucked up head. I don't know. But it happened to me more than once. It doesn't always happen, but more than once it's happened before. Now, I can't give you any advice on meth other than don't fucking do it unless you want to look like a grandma or a grandpa when you're 20 or 30 years old. That's not a good look for you. I can say the same thing with heroin, except heroin is actually much more fucking deadly if you stop. That's how that bitch, Amy Winehouse, that British bitch, that cabron, I don't know her fucking name. That's apparently how she died. She was a heroin addict, and she quit cold turkey, which is the worst fucking thing you can do whenever you stop doing heroin. That's the worst thing you can fucking do. Because your body demands that shit, and when it doesn't have it, it goes into, what was it, the medical term? It's when you go into cardiac shock or some shit like that. You pretty much have a fucking heart attack for not having heroin. Now, what are my personal thoughts on drugs? Well, it depends on what aspect you're talking about. Legally, yeah, fuck yeah, legalize all drugs. Well, not legalize because we're gonna have a bunch of fucking hippies and drug addicts and all those cabrones in the streets, and we don't want that. Not even a drug user like myself wants that. But we could decriminalize, like other people are fucking saying, like Portugal, Amsterdam. I don't know if Canada does it, but if they do, that's probably why they're so fucking peaceful. I think Mexico recently did it, or if it did, at least with weed. I'm not sure. I'll do research and find out if they did or not. Because I remember seeing a report about 2 or 3 years ago on Univision where that it had to do with weed, but I really wasn't paying attention because it was like 5 in the fucking morning, so I was sleepy as shit. But I'll do some research. We could decriminalize that shit to a certain degree. Like you get arrested with a fucking gram of weed. Alright, fuck it. Just a couple hours of community service. Alright. You get arrested with a fucking ounce. Alright, fuck it. 1 month probation or whatever the hell the penal code asks. You get arrested with a fucking ton and an AK. Motherfucker, you were going to jail. Because first of all, how fucking long will it take for you to smoke a ton of weed? Like an actual ton. Like a literal ton. 2,000 pounds of weed. You have that shit and you have an AK. You could be arrested for either smuggling it. I don't know where the fuck you're going to smuggle a ton of mota. Your culo's not going to be enough. And I say smuggling because most of the time smugglers and drug traffickers, they travel with their fucking guns. So they could charge you with that. I'm not saying they are, but if they find probable cause to charge you with that, then they probably will. Now, if it's just, for example, if it's in a state, this is how I think it should go. I'm not saying it should. This is how I'm feel that it should. I got my own fucking opinion. You can have yours. If it's in a state where it already is recreational, like Colorado or Washington, and yeah, a ton of weed, that's not really, you could say, you can make up some dumbass excuse and you probably won't get away with it. Oh, I'm just a farmer. I'm going to sell it to local stores. You could say that, but if the cop is not a pendejo, he's going to ask for proof. He's going to ask where your fucking farm is. He's going to ask for some fucking ID. He's going to ask what fucking stores you're going to sell it to. And he's going to call those fucking stores. And the fucker who's going to answer is going to say, no, we don't fucking know him. You're fucked. You're fucked. Either way. If it was decriminalized to a certain degree, that is a little too extreme. Well, that scenario where the whole ton of mota and a gun and all that shit, that's risky. Now with cocaine and with the other ones, category ones who deserve to be on that fucking category 1 list, it's a different story because cocaine has no health benefits. It's probably why I like it. I keep looking outside because my fucking dog is doing some weird shit. Like I was saying before I started looking at my fucking dog. Cocaine has no fucking health benefits whatsoever. For fuck's sake, you use gasoline and cement to make it. What fucking health benefits do those two ingredients have? Now, I'm not saying cocaine is bad. Well, it is, but I still fucking love it. But for some people who want to decriminalize it because it might have health benefits, I have never heard anyone say that. So I'm just saying, if there is a person who says that, you are the biggest pendejo in existence. And you will not be able to change my opinion about you, even if you become a fucking PhD in chemistry and whatever the fuck. You will be known as the biggest pendejo in existence. In my opinion, at least. So, moral of the story, cocaine does not have health benefits. It just fucks you up because it wants to. Let's move on to the next one, which are psychedelics. Psychedelics. I've heard that a lot of people use them for either antidepressants or they have some shit, some demons that are haunting them from their past. I get that. You want to use psychedelics to free yourself from the shit that's happened to you? Sure, you can. I completely support that. You want to be happy. I get it. I haven't been happy in so many fucking years. Yeah, I'm actually kind of used to being a grouchy old bitter cabron. But there are some people who also abuse the drug. Like I said, I am not sure if psychedelics, mainly, the only two psychedelics I know are acid and shrooms. So, I mean, if there's more, there's an ayahuasca, which is like a natural psychedelic. So, I'm pretty sure that one's not going to fuck you up. Or, it will fuck you up. But I don't think it's going to physically hurt you. Because I've read a lot of articles and seen a lot of documentaries where people use that as a form of finding their inner self, like a spiritual freedom or some shit. I don't really know. I try not to dwell into spirituality that much. But yeah, a lot of people use psychedelics for getting rid of their past selves or pretty much just finding happiness. Let's just say that. And I also know this, and I know this as a fact because I have a friend who has something called cluster headaches. It's like a migraine times 1,000. It's pretty much where his head fucking hurts because it wants to hurt, and the smallest speck of light can actually hurt. Like he's told me that the sensation of a cluster headache is imagine getting hit by a fucking wrestling chair 50 times in a row for the next however long it lasts. He says that's how it feels. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I thought my migraines were bad. So he uses shrooms every 2 months or 3 months to avoid them, to like keep them from happening. And it actually works. So shrooms are actually, in his case, they're medicinal and they work. So I can't say yes or no, but I do them still, so Now, pills. I have mixed emotions about pills. Because there are some pills that completely make you stupid. Like Xanax, or how I know them as bars. I don't know why the fuck people call them Xannies. Why the fuck do you keep changing the nicknames for drugs? You know how fucking difficult it is for a drug dealer to learn new slang? It's a pain in the ass. Now, I haven't done that many pills. The ones I have are ecstasy, Xanax, and I think that's it. Oh, and muscle relaxers or painkillers, but that was because of my back. But sometimes I did kind of take one more than what I was supposed to, and they did fuck me up. But I'm gonna count that as fixing my back, because I told you stories about how my back was fucked up to the point where I couldn't even get out of bed. And if I haven't told you a story, next video when I have time, I'll make a story time. It's gonna be a much more serious story time, but that way you'll know about how my fucking back was fucked up and how it hasn't gotten better since. But on to drugs, because that's what this video is about. Drugs. Those are the only 3 types of pills I've taken. And I'm gonna say this: if you do take pills, I cannot stress this enough. Do not take them with alcohol. That's it. First of all, it's not even gonna work. The effect is not gonna affect. It's just gonna fuck up your liver more. I don't know how. It's the chemical reaction chingadera. That I said it before to George. Me and science are no longer friends because of a chemistry incident. Let's just say that. And so I don't know everything exactly, but they just don't work with alcohol. So if people have told you that it does, that's probably they're either a placebo, or they're just that ignorant and stupid that they don't know the actual truth. That's why I'm gonna leave it here. I talked about drugs enough, and I'm pretty sure I just incriminated myself for talking about it. So if I don't go to prison or jail or get mysteriously killed, I'll see you fuckers in the next video. But until then, what drugs have you taken? If you've taken any, let me know. Later, fuckers. ¿Qué hola, culeros? You can see my last video, acá. You can subscribe over here. And you can see all my fucking social medias, aquí abajo. Now, you better fucking watch the last video, because you never know, it could have been funny. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it on Facebook, Twitter, anything you can share it on. So, get to it, fuckers.